Azura. I'm from Austria. Well, I was looking for a name and I was looking up things online that kind of sound nice, but I didn't really find anything that fit me. So I was just thinking back about my past. And I remembered when I started traveling a lot, I went to France to Côte d'Azur, and the ocean there was just beautiful in that azure color. So I tried taking the name Azur because I liked the pronunciation, but I knew that everybody would pronounce it differently because not everybody takes a U for an U. So I went with Azura because you can't really go wrong there. Well, I can't say that. I like listening to music, but I don't have a specific kind of music that I like. I just listen to basically everything. Whatever I like just goes into my playlist and stuff like that. So I don't really have a musical background. For me, getting into beatboxing was kind of random, actually. I don't have a history that led me there. Well, I randomly stumbled across a video, I think, of a lap in the World Championships 2015, back then when it was still like new video. And I kind of liked it, so I got into it. And that year, a bit, I could basically just do a basic boots and cats, but I didn't really proceed further because I didn't have friends that liked it. And as I noticed, even now, if I don't have anybody around me that likes it or has the same interest, I kind of lose my motivation for that. So in 2019, I had a very random encounter with one of my old friends from school who told me he also liked beatboxing. So we were like, okay, we're gonna go to the next event that's close. And we went to last year's Vocal Total. And after that, I was basically hooked and I get pulled into the community like that. Well, I don't have a specific style because I'm basically still stuck in my beginner phase as I had a lot of stuff going on lately and I didn't continue evolving, let's say like that. But if I would have to pick one thing, it would be slightly into the musical thingy, but more with drums and stuff. I don't know why, I just got hooked with those. Well, not really at events, but I have my friend Ois, also Austrian chap, and we kind of did a small tag performance at our jam session last year. But that's about it. I don't really have any experience with tag team because it's actually harder than drums, honestly, because you have to sync and everything. And if one person messes up, the other person will probably mess up as well. So it's gonna be even harder with a crew, though. I don't think that would be something for me. Producing, I honestly don't know, but I have a loop station here that I borrowed from Item. I didn't really touch it, to be honest, because I can't figure out how everything works and stuff. And I noticed that even getting a simple beat is but I will definitely get into it in the future. Before that, I kind of want to evolve in solo beatbox a bit and then go to loop station. But yeah, I have it over there. No, that's the thing. That's what I said. I would pick that if I had to pick a style because at the moment I don't really have one, and it wouldn't be too musical. It would be slightly musical, but more into the technical. It actually depends. There's a few really chill songs that would be very musical and involve more singing. God bless autotune, and some more heavy songs. I don't know if you know everything Black from Unlike. Well, I know that I definitely want to create some routine because I already went on stage 2 times and I was basically lost because I just pieced something together and I was not very happy with it, but I'm glad that I did it. So I want to fix some routines in the near future. For the moment, I'm just focusing on my life. Like I need to get stuff together again. But yeah, that would be my next project, honestly. Because for the moment, I'm not really beatboxing a lot, but I need to get back into it. Otherwise, it's gonna be bad. I mean, my general experience with all the communities that I met at events and stuff was very nice. I found a lot of friends over there. Doesn't matter which country, like in France and Belgium, Germany, basically everywhere. And the Belgian community is also very nice and very supportive because when I went up on stage there, I was honestly a nervous wreck and everybody could see that, but they were still supporting me and they were also supporting my friend Romy, who's now the Belgian champ. And yeah, I just like that part of it, the community, that everybody is so supportive, and it's probably the same here in Austria as well. Just that we do a bit more as a community because normally we meet up every 2 weeks in a small, well, bar, let's say it like that, with some speakers, and we just have a jam session there. Sadly, that's not present in Belgium because beatboxes are everywhere. Like, if this is the country, there's beatboxes everywhere. And here we have Vienna as a central point, and most beatboxes are here, so it's way easier for the community to do so. I think I had more experience in real life because I went to a bunch of events and different races in that time. But with the online community, I honestly don't know. I don't like online battles too much because it's missing something. It's missing the crowd, it's missing the energy. Everybody's cutting off all the time. It's just not that fun to listen to. And honestly, I think that the online community is quite toxic, especially towards new beatboxers, because if I went to the SPX camp after beatboxing for 1 week or something, and I found so many nice people there that were actually really supportive and trying to help. If I would go on Discord with that skill level, they would just rip me. Well, kind of two-sided, I would say. I mean, if you go somewhere as a female beatboxer, everybody's like, "Oh my god, because you're so rare," or whatever. And honestly, sometimes it's very uncomfortable to be alone at an event where there's mostly guys, because there's always going to be at least one person trying their luck because, I don't know, apparently an object there, a wanted object. But for most parts, I only experienced very nice things. I found a lot of friends, actually mostly male friends in the beatbox community, and like really bad experiences I never made so far. To add something to that, I also see it online sometimes, just the gap between male beatboxers and female beatboxers. I mean, I shouldn't be saying that, but some girls just don't look like girls on the first look. Like, they have a, let's say, a short haircut and stuff, wear baggy clothes, and you wouldn't guess from the first look that that's a girl. So they click on the video, they're like, well, those beats are not too nice. And then they're like, oh wait, that's a girl. Wait, she's good for a girl. And that's the thing that pisses me off. Yeah, because either you're good or you're not good. It's just not based on gender. Yeah, that's just not what you want to hear, because you're putting a lot of time, a lot of effort into it, and you're trying to get good. I mean, matching a guy sometimes is very hard, especially if you compare it to the very high levels. But I mean, there's quite a few female beatboxers out there that could battle very good male beatboxers as well, so I don't really see the point there. Yeah, well, I think for beginners, like for me, for example, separated female battle wasn't the worst thing ever, because I can just speak for myself here, but when I went there, I was already really nervous. But if I had to compete in the male category at that point, at my skill level, I honestly wouldn't have done it. And I think a lot of other beginners would kind of think the same. So I would say that category, the female battle is okay, but in general, I don't really see the point of separated battles, because, as you said, there's quite a few beatboxers that can actually match the male beatboxers. And yeah, I think honestly that they should just make one big category. It also pushes the community to try more, I think. And it would kind of help the whole male beatboxers, female beatboxers being separate thing if you just put it together. At first, when they announced it without posting the video yet, I was like, dude, what the fuck? Why would you do that? That doesn't even make sense. Then they posted all the benefits and stuff, and I guess a lot of girls like that. I wanted to make a wildcard for that as well. But honestly, I would feel kind of weird just being in a pure female battle, because I don't know how to explain it actually. It just doesn't feel right, because it feels like, yeah, the guys just battle over there and the girls just battle over there, so the girls also have a chance. As I said, for newcomers it might be good, but in general I don't think so. Well, JB is gonna be the next stop for me for sure, and then I kind of have to see about my financial situation, because right now it's not looking too good, so I kind of have to be careful about that. But in general, like last year, I just went to every single battle that I could go to. Like after the Boca Total, went to the SPX camp, then I went to the Slovakian Champs, Beatbox of the Month in Germany, then also to the What's Up Brussels Festival, where there was a small beatbox battle as well, where Supernova won, I think. Another Beatbox of the Month and stuff like that. I just traveled everywhere I could, whenever I could go there. And I want to do that again, but I have to be careful. But Vocal Total is definitely going to be a stop as well next year because it's very close to me. And probably Berlin with the Beatbox of the Month as well again. I think that's a good thing about them pairing it with an a cappella event because you can basically combine those two things and just forge it together. And then, I mean, you have a very musical beatbox style then, basically. Or, well, I think most or a lot of a cappella groups that I know, for example, the one that Russian from Slovakia is in, also have a beatboxer, and that just adds that little touch to it. And I think if people experience it like that, like the a cappella part and then the beatbox part, they are going to be like, actually, it's not that bad. And also, Boca Total is just amazing because it's in a cave in the middle of a mountain. So that adds to it. It's not in Vienna, it's just a few hours away from here, but it's still great because in that one city where it's in Graz, there's a mountain with a kind of a it's a clock tower basically on top of it, and you can go into the mountain and there's just a cave. And it's just amazing. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of bass, but if somebody drops a really good bass in there, the whole thing just starts shaking. And it's over. Well, honestly, one of my shoutouts would definitely go to Scratchy because he's the guy that I met at the SPX camp and also at the What's Up Brussels festival. And he's the only reason why I ever went on stage. Because he saw the announcement for the Belgian champs and sent it to me, and I was like, yeah, don't worry, I'm going there. I'm just going to watch. And he was like, you're going to participate. And then we had a back and forth argument kind of until I gave in. So yeah, he's the pushing force that I had that just got me on stage. And it was a very nice experience. So definitely shout out to Scratchy there. Yeah. Honestly, also a shout out to all the people that are currently fighting for the equal in the beatbox community that are making an effort to actually change stuff because it's really important that something gets moving in order to change. So yeah, definitely big props to them. Azura.